Okay, everyone. Okay, everyone, here we are at the easel because today is a rainy day. Even though the sun's come out and it's going to be gorgeous, we had some rain, and now it's just really cold and windy. I don't know. But so what I want to do is I'm going to do a painting here in the studio, and I'm going to do it of this painting right here. If you remember that painting, it was in a different video. Anyway, so I'm going to do that painting, but what I want to do is I want to just refine it a little. I want to use it as my source for painting, not a photograph. I didn't take a photograph out there unless it was in the video. And but I'm going to add in just a couple other little details, but most importantly, I'm going to simplify. I'm going to simplify it down so that I can create just a little more interest and texture and just kind of work out some fun ideas. So come along with the journey. Let's see what happens. Okay, so you can see this panel here is white, blank canvas. All right, and then we got to put in our colors, but you can see where they're going to go. We're going to put in a red, a blue, a yellow, a white, and maybe something here. I don't know, but let's go ahead and load up some colors, guys. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we want to lay in our drawing, of course. Put on registration marks here, here, here. The idea, remember, is I want to simplify the heck out of this, okay? So if we have this painting here that we're painting, it's basically in three parts. We have the foreground, the middle ground, and then the sky. And so I want to simplify a lot of this, and I'm going to put like a bush right here, you know, like some weeds or something right here. Again, the background is just, you know, it's a really foggy gray back in there, so it blends in. And I want to bring the sky out just a little more, get a little more excitement out of that sky. Let's go. So, you know, we had this, you know, real nice, you know, the path right here. That's the path. Yeah. But we're going to put this, you know, something of interest right here is what we're going to do. And because there's bushes and this and that and all kinds of good old stuff in there. Okay, so let me bring this path back. Things here, just kind of showing what on this path, you know, just so I can have something to go up in there so we can just kind of remember where it goes. And there's all these like little bushes and weeds and brambles. But after a good rain, oh my gosh, so everything's going to turn like just golden. It really is. Everything's going to be golden for about 2 weeks. Then it's back to brown. And I remember the wind in the video of the painting I did from it. I've done, you know, the back bay, whatever. You know, anyway, the wind was, you know, blowing pretty good and whatever. It was a gorgeous day. And today it was supposed to be like super, still rainy and all, but no, well, it's a gorgeous sunny day here now too. But we're going to stay here and paint inside because that's what the plan was. That's what the plan is. That's what we're going to do. Okay, now we had this, goes from there, and then it goes, so I'm going to add some yellow and blue. I'm sorry, white and blue, because what we want to do is, that cools it off so we can send it yonder in the back. And then so we had this like upper area, and then, you know, you don't want to have like this tangent line, whatever. That's, yeah, be careful on this tangent. Here's what I'm trying to say. But you know, the bay comes here, and create a little more interest as it comes out a little. keep it nice and thin. So also as part of the, trying to make a living as an artist deal, I'm going to be doing a Patreon, and it's going to be like really pretty cheap, to be honest with you. But the Patreon will be all about like the studio paintings and everything, where, like the longer, more in-depth paintings, and then the YouTube videos are just going to be, kind of like the shorter edited ones, to where, you ain't got time for it, but you got time for it. But if you want to learn, then, anyway. Because the whole idea is just to be better artists. Okay, so that comes out there, this and that, and then what I want to do is, this is the background here. See how we've done more blue, more white, and the reason we did that is because we want to make it more gray. And this really just it goes all the way across, and we'll just bring it back in what we want to bring it back in. And we're just creating essentially just the shapes of these. Creating the shapes of these hills in the background here. And there's all the the little trees and houses and bushes and everything. Are we painting in every tree? No. Are we suggesting it? Yes. Mixing just a little more blue, a little more white. Oh, you got this cliff over here. Over on this cliff you have all the houses. Over here you have all the condos. Now, on clear days, you can see where there's actually a bridge that goes across and traffic and all that good stuff. But since this is a really foggy day, the clouds are coming in, wind was blowing, it was a gorgeous day. Now don't worry about this color not being right, because it's not. Is what it is, however, is a nice block in. But I do want to just kind of create a little bit of something there, because there's, just a little bit of scenery, the rest of where the bay goes into. The back bay goes into the front bay, I guess you can say, where all the yachts are. The yachts. I learned how to sail here in Newport Bay. kind of fun. All right. So the idea is, do I have my tonal area here? You know, this is my drawing really. This is just, you know, background supporting actors. I'm going to start bringing up this, you know, warm green grass here. Now remember, a few minutes ago I said the idea is I wanted to simplify, and I do. But right now I'm still just kind of blocking in the color, the tonality, the warmth, you know, how warm I want to get it, how cool I want to get it, and that's what I'm kind of blocking in right now. But we are going to simplify. So I put in a little yellow, a little red, and that warmed it up just a touch. I mean, almost imperceptible, but I know I added it, so I know it's going to happen. All right, so just, you know, a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow, just enough. Mix it in with the rest of our puddle. And then I wish I had another camera so you can see that, because I have this one set up on a tripod instead of just holding it and all the good stuff. But I did put a screen on my little GoPro here so that now I can see if I'm actually getting everything in shot. Hey, call me a pro. Okay, but you see right here, I'm just, you know, blocking in color, just, you know, getting this tonality in here, getting a little bit of something in here, maybe a little bit of interest, but we are really going to simplify this, okay? Trust me, we are. This is also known as the underpainting. If you're hearing a ding in the background, that's my phone. Missing out on great conversations. Cooling this off here. Oh, that's way too cool. Jeez Louise, guys. Okay. Cooling that off a little bit in the background so that we go from, you know, warmer to cooler here. As little as it is, you know, it makes a difference in the painting. All right. And we're going to put in this bush here. So the sky and the water, we're going to paint together. But I need to put out some yellow ochre for this. Where are my yellow ochres? It's in the pile of paint. But anyway. All right. And then for the next trick is to, I'm going to start putting in this sky thing here. And for that, that, we're going to use a bigger brush. Okay, see this brush? It's a bigger brush. It gives me big, broad, but it's brand new. And I had a smaller one. I have no idea where it went. All right, new brush break-in, guys. Here we go. Let's see how we mix up this. So I'm bringing some white into here, just a titch of blue. Okay, just a titch of blue. That's a lot of blue. You guys know I said titch. I'll put a little more white in it. I mean, we can always come back in. Okay, so we got white, blue, and we're going to come up here and just see that's way too dark of the blue, even though we want to. Even though that's kind of like just our undertone paint, I guess you can say. Because we're going to come back in a lot of it over. A lot. We're going to come back in over it a lot. Okay, but I just want to kind of block that in. Okay. Okay, so there's our good block in. That's just what I want. I just want that blocked in. All right, so now we want to come back in. Now that we've done that, we're going to use a different brush. This one's long brush. Kind of gives us a little bit of stiffness to it, but yeah. Okay, so we had like the sun kind of come through, so I'm going to just suggest in this little idea of the sun popping through in these clouds here. Give it a little bit of light, and I'm starting with the yellow in there, and then we'll come back in with the white. Have the sun peeping through. I'll say one thing, like when you paint at different locations, and you really should go paint different locations, and that's kind of the fun of being an artist, is you go to different locations to paint. But what you really got to notice is the atmosphere. That will be the one part that'll really, interest you really. It's like, oh, you're not just the landscape and this and that, but it's the atmosphere that really something magical happens. I don't know. I've just found that to be the most interesting part of going out in new places and paint. The air is different, the wind is different. And yeah, it takes a little bit, just calming your mind down. Just, before you even paint, you just kind of, just let your other senses pick up, It's really interesting. I don't know if it's like this in other places, but the fog, the coastal fog like this is what it does. Just it comes and then like it sits like right there. I mean, it comes in from the water, hits the land, done. I mean, like you're like you can be socked in fog so hard, this and that and everything. You like go walk 20 minutes. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, and then like it is bright and sunny out, and you're just like, wait a second, when was I just in the fog? And then that's it. It's like, mink. It's I don't know if it's funny, this and that, but I don't know, but that's kind of how the coastal fog works. I mean, it hugs the coast. I'm doing the brush strokes here to kind of just break those planes up a little, because I don't want too much hard line in one area. There's a road that goes along the bottom over here. Not that I'm painting that road in, but usually I'm just, make it just like a little bit warmer at the bottom of your structures here. Kind of sets it in there a little. Maybe it's just too warm. I'm not sure. And then this hillside actually got just a little bit of sunlight on it. So let's go ahead and put just a touch of the yellow and white in there and see if we get it right. That might be a little too much. It was like getting just enough of the sun coming through there, just enough in the interest to kind of show how the hillside is shaped as it comes down. Get a little interest in it. Now I know you said we were simplifying. I don't know what I'm doing here, but all right. Is this the light coming through that's doing this? Is it just a little bit of shape? I don't know. Okay. I'm going to leave the background for now. Now I'm going to come back in and start working the foreground here. Now foreground, my idea was I was going to use a little bit of palette knife. Alright, so you got a palette knife. This is a skinny one. I also have a bigger one. This one I think works a little better, but alright, so let's go back into our warm colors down below. I mean, all the colors down there make a nice gray, but so I'm not like cleaning it like I'm starting over, but just enough to do what we need to do. So I'm making this really warm green grass here in the front. And we are going to use all three colors. As a matter of fact, let me show you how I'm doing this. So what I'm doing here is I'm using my yellow, blue, and red, and I'm just kind of creating the color that I want to go. Now I haven't put any white in here yet, and the white will show me exactly how gray it is. But this is pure color. So if we come up here with what I've got, I'm going to put it right here and be like, holy Toledo, that's way too dark. So, but if I come back here and I use some more yellow, because you know your color theories, right? I'm going to put in a lot more yellow. Okay, and then, okay, I kind of like that a little bit better. Now I'm going to add my white, and that's way too much white, I guess. I don't know, mix it all together. Alright, so now we're going to come back here. Okay, guys, see that? I hate it. That's great. Okay. So what I'm going to do is put the camera back in the cradle here. We're going to go back to our... Now so what I'm going to do is go back to my brush I've been using, and just kind of knock in all these colors that I like. Now this key is a bit dark. I probably should bring up the key just a little bit, but I don't know, we'll see. But the one thing I'm doing is using thicker paint now because, you know, when we laid it in, it was all very thin. Used a lot of solvent to keep it very thin. Now I'm coming in with some heavier paint, and that's actually what I was trying to avoid a little bit. I don't know, I guess it's just my style. You know, having your style is an important thing. But if you don't win competitions, if you don't get invited to anything, if you know, you're not one of the people that everyone goes, oh my God, I mean, like anything you do, people are like, oh my God, that's the most amazing thing in the world, holy smokes. And maybe your technique needs to change, maybe you need to get better, maybe evolve it a little more, maybe get some good positive feedback, but nothing really substantial. Maybe you kind of win some stuff, but not really a lot, and you're trying to get better, and you're trying to, you know, this and that, then, you know, maybe change things up a little, see what happens. If it does work great, then great. If it doesn't, well, keep painting. But the idea is, and it really sucks that, you know, at least in my thinking, it's the whole, you gotta, other people's admiration, other people's, you know, liking your work kind of thing, for us to succeed as an artist. It just kind of sucks, but it's also kind of a self-cleaning society in that it, you know, it's like, oh no, this is what we as a collective whole are deeming good and what we are deeming as not great, you know, and that's good in one way, but it sucks in another because also no one's really honest. I mean, I can't tell you how many posts you see. Like, oh my God, that's the most amazing artwork ever. Oh my gosh, you're so wonderful. And you're like, good God, that's awful. But, you know, what do? You know, you're going to post on there. It's like, yeah, that painting sucks, dude. Are you going to do that? No, you're not. You know, so all you do is, you know, like most people, you know, all you do is get good comments. Not me. But, you know, because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. And then you get other people get like really super offended if you do leave a comment that kind of says, hey, that's great, but, you know, and people get really offended. Like I did that one time, and I was like really, honest to God, trying to help this guy out because, you know, I don't know. I looked at it, I was like, man, that's just a glaring problem, this and that and everything. And he was entering a big show competition. And then I saw something where he was like, you know, kind of being a dick about it to some other people about the competition. And so I was like, you know, let's see if I can help this guy. Bad move, trying to help someone out. And I was like, and I said in like a really nice way about, you know, oh, you know, if you did this and this painting, it'd probably be a lot better, this and that. And man, that guy just went off on me. Oh my God, got me in trouble with the show sponsor, and that guy called me. I was like, oh, you know, you gotta, and I was like, I want to be like, hey, why don't you go F yourself, man? Because I was just trying to be a nice guy and help this guy. Well, you can't do that. So anyway, needless to say, you know, it's almost like one of those things where it's like, you can't say something nice, don't say something at all. But on the other hand, if you're an artist and you can't take another artist's kind criticism in a way that helps you, then, you know, you need to lighten up a little bit, you know? You need to be like, I don't know, need to chill out or something. Because having other people give you their honest feedback And assuming they are a good person to get feedback from. I mean, there's lots of people that are just dicks and don't really know what they're talking about. But the idea is that you really need to have some type of positive criticism, positive feedback, positive this and that and everything. This is not what I want to do in this painting. I want to simplify. What am I doing? I'm not simplifying. I'm creating too much texture. But anyway, I think that the best thing to do then is to get some friends who, you're all cool and chill with and everything, and whose work you admire. It's like, I painted with a guy named Greg LaRock, and, he really knew his stuff inside now. He really knew it. And he was like my painting buddy I go painting with. And so, after painting, it'd be like, hey, take a look and this and that, and be like, hey, yeah, you probably do this and this a little bit better, or that, or this and that. And then, all that good stuff. And so, it helps. You get a couple of friends that you really like, that are good with you, and who trust you, and you trust them, and, there's no malice in any of it. There's no, like, yeah, you should do this because, I don't know. Just, the idea is just, help each other grow. Okay, a lot of these are it's all very soft edges if you aren't paying attention there. And I want to put in a few hard edges here and there. All right. This fan brush that's like all really pretty messed up is great for giving me some hard edges. I think the harder part is, finding those people that you can talk to like that. People you can be like, hey, you're a really good person. I want to learn with you. And they're like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's great, buddy. But you just want to be like, no, I just want to paint. I'm not like trying to upset you. I'm not trying to, take advantage of you. I'm not trying to, it's just, I just want to paint with you, buddy, because you're good and all that stuff. I don't know. Yeah, it's all right. So what I'm doing is creating like a lot more hard edges because these bushes and brambles and everything here, they're full of critters too. It's really neat. Saw a hawk nail up mouse or something in here, it landed like 2 feet away. It's like the craziest thing. You heard like a little scratching in the bushes, and it was in a class. It's pretty cool. And then everyone's like seeing a hawk, just kind of floating around, and you hear like the little scratching going on in the bushes. I'm like, something's down there. Oh, how cute! And then the hawk just zung right in there, bing, and nailed it. I was like, oh. It was like 2 feet away. And the hawk came in at like Mach 2 or something. This is a classic example of how brushes create their own texture, but it's still your mark that has to put it in there. It's not like the brush is going to do all the work for you. But that's a good example of how that works. See, that might be a little too much texture right here. It might be a little too much. Especially since the whole plan is just to simplify. You ever that problem where you have every color you can think of except for the color you need? Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and put in this path. And again, just using the same colors we have down below. Keep it, even though I'm putting in a lot of white because, you know, it's the kind of color we need to put in there. I'm going to thin it down a little with some the solvent. As it goes back, don't forget to add a little more white and just a touch of blue, just to cool it off. Even though it doesn't look like it is on the palette, when you put it up here and it reacts against the other colors, that's where you're really going to see it. That's Color Theory 101 by Eric. Alright, so now it's in there, so now we gotta make it part of the scene. And then as we come forward, we want it to be just a little bit warmer. Using my brush strokes to create some textural interest. Even though the whole point was to simplify, we'll still work on that. Oh, it's just kind of fun painting. Alright, so I'm going to try and bring in this, you know, the DG, decomposed granite. Try to make the path part of the scenery here. Kind of like poking air holes in a tree kind of thing, you know. And then here on this, I'm just going to kind of break up some of the lines and tension here so that it looks like, you know, the path is really becoming a part of the hillside. And adding this little white here just kind of indicate a little bit of a plane change. And by plane change, I'm not talking about, you know, going from your twin Comanche to, you know, 747 or anything. You know, I'm talking about, you know, the plane. So if this ground's like that, it kind of goes up like this and like this up into the grass. That's the kind of plane change we're talking about. Now let's go to some of this back stuff over here. Just because those are, you know, brambly bushes back in there. All brambly, brambly. Okay, now the one part we haven't really touched is that, and part of me doesn't want to. There we go. Now that, when the tide is high, it's pretty cool. When it's low, it smells like a swamp. So, especially if you're like in a low area, like where there's no breeze. Oh my God, it's like, ooh. Oops, maybe. Let's see if we like that or not. Oh, I'll leave it in there. Okay, time to take a step back, see what we like, what we don't like. Enjoy a cool beverage, go talk to the other artists, see how everyone else is doing. Give them the obligatory nod of, oh, yeah, it's looking good. Oh, yeah, wow, that's great. Yeah, you're doing great. Jeez Louise. Okay, so I'm going to take a step back. Okay, a couple areas to fix. I hope you found them too. If not, I'll tell you what I found. This back here. Oh, I'm not really a big jazzy fan of how that's going right there. And it's not so much as it's just the shapes, you know, so like just a little bit of the shapes. And that's not really the color I want it to be, but we're going to come back in with this just like that, but we're going to cool it off a little, bring it back down. One thing about the back bay is this is like it's a great place if you could take your dog and just like let it just cruise along and run free, but you have to keep it on a leash. So, yeah. But a dog would have a field day out here. Okay, so fix this. I'm just not, you know. See, it's like it's too straight through there. It's just too straight. I don't want that too straight going through there. And then this, it's too saturated. And you know, I've got like all these little, you know, nicks and marks and everything. So I just want to go through here and simplify a lot of this. It's like I put the paint in there, but I didn't paint it in there. You know, you kind of know what I mean? That's what I think I mean by simplify. Or edit. I took the workshop by Ken Oster, and one thing is like edit, edit, edit. Always edit your work. I was like, that's a good idea, Ken. I'm going to do that. I'm going to edit my work. And I think you know, my interpretation of editing is by always, you know, stepping back saying, go fix that. You know, if you got shapes, colors, something that just doesn't look right, fix it, edit it. Just a hint more contrast in a couple of key places. All right, let's take a step back. Okay, so I've taken a look at it, stepped back, got a glass of water, this and that. Now there's a couple of neat things I like about it. I do like this extra heavy paint right in there. Overall it's okay. I like the, I have the highlights in there, this and that. Maybe I could punch the sky up a little bit more, I'm not sure. But I do like how the sky is really, just a blasé there. Because it's, it kind of captures the atmosphere of the day. This turned out nice. The only thing is this might need just a little more something, like a little more shape to it, I'm not sure, since I kind of made it up. And then this is, that is what it is. It's like, do you just kind of like just wash it and blink it out? I don't know. I'm going to do another one where it's like really pushes it, and we'll see what happens. But other than that, you have it's a scene. All right, so let's, I'm going to leave this up here so that my wife can see that I did something today and the reason why the trash wasn't taken out or anything, and all that good stuff. All right, so let's take a look here in a few more minutes. All right, so basically, the painting's more or less done. I'm not going to go and noodle it and fix it or anything else. I do have to put a signature on it. But other than that, I like it. It's something. I like everything I did with it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I gotta think about it a little bit more. But I'm gonna call it done for the most part. Maybe come back in here a little bit right here, just to kind of put a little more interest in there, because this would be the center of interest, like this little bush here, and it's just not really. But we'll see. But other than that, it was a fun little day painting, and then I took the dog out for a little potty walk, and yeah, man, there's a big storm coming in, so you can't be fooled by the beautiful blue skies in the morning. You gotta look at your weather. Anyway, I hope you liked it. Like, click, and subscribe. Click like, and subscribe. And I'm gonna keep doing these paintings because that's what I do. See you next time.